So recently we purchased a new trailer, a Rockwood Roo 183. And one of the cool things that comes with this trailer is that it's pre-wired for a backup camera. Now when I was at the dealership, I was looking at different cameras that they had there just out of curiosity, not thinking I would get one. And honestly, they were way expensive, $500–600, and that probably did not include the labor to install them. So I decided to go on Amazon and start looking around, reading reviews, seeing if there was any cheaper alternatives. And I found the Amtifo version 8 or V8 is what they call it. It's a high-def backup camera that comes with a monitor and a camera, and it also comes with a mount that you can mount it to the Furrion plate up there, and that way you can have a camera back there at all times like a rear view mirror. It was listed for $130 on Amazon. When I went to check out, there was a $45 coupon, so I ended up getting this with taxes and everything for about $90, which is a lot difference. And it's really just a plug and play installation. The camera comes with an adapter that plugs right in there, so I don't have to do any wiring. I don't have to have any knowledge on electricity. I just have to plug it in like a headphone jack, and that's it. So let's go unbox the camera. Then we're going to test the camera, and then I'm going to install it. All right, so let's get into unboxing the camera kit. Got some styrofoam on the top, followed by an instruction manual. And then next in the box we have what looks to be the monitor. Sure enough, there it is. Pretty decent sized monitor. Looks like it's got some mounts on the back, as well as these bolts here that you can loosen to change the angle if you decide to attach it by the bottom base plate here. Next up we have what looks to be the camera, and sure enough, there it is. It's turned inwards probably to protect it. So there's the camera there, and the plug right there to plug it into your trailer. Some of the other things we have inside here, it looks like we've got a bracket here with some screws as well as an adapter. I'm guessing that's the Furrion adapter. And then in this bag, it looks like we have the cables for the monitor. This model did not come with a suction cup mount for the screen. I was thinking that came with it, but it doesn't look like that comes with it. And the only mounting option is this 3M sticky pad, which I will not be using because I don't want to 3M this to my truck. So we've got the power cable and button for the monitor. And then it looks like we have some additional cables, antennas, and these red things, which I have no idea what they are, in this bag. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the manual, figure out what the next steps are for this installation, then we'll head outside to the trailer and get this installed. All right, one quick update. As I was starting to go through the documentation, one thing I found here is that they do offer one free accessory, it appears. So we just reach through to them after purchase with the Amazon order number and the link, and let them know which product you want. It looks like you have the option of the windshield mount, which is probably what I'm going to go for, or a second camera, SD card, or a cigarette lighter splitter. So I will be emailing them for sure to get that window mount, because I would much prefer that than having to sticker this thing to my dash. Okay, so the first thing we need to do before we install the camera onto the trailer itself is we need to test it. So I've got right here the monitor, which I'm just gonna, for now, stick here on the dash, which it kind of fits right nice in that slot. So maybe I won't need a window mount. And then they give you this awesome little splitter. Let me show you that. So you can plug the camera straight into the monitor and test it out in your truck before you actually mount it up to the back of your trailer. So we're going to try that out. First thing we need to do is plug the monitor into one of these, and then I need to plug the camera into the other side, and we're just going to set this guy up here for now. All right, and then of course we're going to need some power. So I've got this power device here that's going to power up both the monitor as well as the camera. So plug that in there, and then if you look just over here in the bottom corner, you push that button right there, and hopefully we get some. Look at that, it's already on. How freaking awesome is that? So I'm moving the camera around and you can see me. Hi. So we know that the camera works, which is fantastic. I'm not going to pretend to know what all these buttons are. I'm going to have to play around with them, and I accidentally just turned it off. So those aren't physical buttons, they're literally just touch sensitive buttons. So you can turn up the brightness, you can put the backup lights or the different lights on there. If you hit this, I think this cycles through all the different cameras. You can put up to 4 cameras with this monitor. It looks like you can do 4 at a time. Let's see, if you click this, it doesn't do anything. You've got some options there for pairing if you need to. I don't know if the screen doesn't seem to. If you use the plus and minus, it'll take you through the setup here. So now that we know that the camera and the monitor are going to work together, the next step is to install the bracket I have, which is this guy right here. This is for the Furrion mount, and then we'll hook up the camera to the trailer. So now that we're up here, you can get a bit closer look at this Furrion mount. It simply has 4 screws, and it does say here easy installation within 15 minutes. So we're going to take those screws out, and this little piece right here matches up with the adapter that goes onto the camera. Don't lose it. And I lost it. Nope, I found it. So one of the things I hadn't done yet was actually connect the adapter to the camera yet, because I wasn't quite sure how this fits on. But now that I'm looking at it, I can see exactly how it fits on up there. So I just need to put the 4 screws that come along with it in there, and then I'll be able to put the 4 screws that came with it back up there. All right, so you see here, it's got the 4 bolts in there. We'll tighten those nuts down on the back, and then we'll be able to attach the camera back onto here, making it a lot more easier to install. So one of the great things about this camera is it comes with this adapter that I've already put on here that looks just like a headphone jack. And the first step to getting it installed is just plugging it straight in without dropping the camera, of course. So I'm going to plug that in, mostly so that I can kind of bunch up the wires up inside there. There's not a ton of room, so I want to make sure that I can bunch those up in there. And there's only one way to put this on, and it's just like that. All right, so now that it's mounted, here's a quick look at how it looks. All mounted up there. There's a hole there, and I wouldn't say that it's weather sealed around this bracket, so I'll probably look at putting some caulk or something, or silicone around those edges just to make sure that no water can get inside that little area. So we'll need to mess around with the angle to see if that works. I'm gonna go get one of my portable batteries that has a cigarette lighter adapter on it, and we're gonna plug the monitor into that while we're out here, and that way we can take a look and adjust it. All right, we've hit our first snag. I've got the monitor just plugged into my jack right here. I've got the trailer plugged into my truck, but we're not getting a signal from the camera. So for some reason, there's no power getting out to that camera. So now we get to figure that out. All right, so this has been really fun and really interesting. We unboxed the camera, we installed the camera, try to use it, and it doesn't work. It worked inside the truck, didn't work when it was installed, and I'm like, did I really maybe not push that cable in long enough? And so I've been sitting in my truck. I backed my truck up to the trailer and connected the trailer to the truck, just some power to see if that did it. That didn't help. And I'm sitting here thinking, what could it possibly be? So I turn off my truck for just a second, screen comes on. I'm like, okay, something's not right here. So after a few minutes of Googling, I found the solution, and let me show you real quick. So here we have our screen right now. I've got my truck on, and it says no signal. Now, the fix for this is down here on my lights. So I'm gonna turn, right now I have it on auto. So I'm gonna turn my headlights on manually and watch what happens. Bazinga. Essentially, the backup camera, the wiring back there, only works when running lights are on because that's when it gets the most power. So if you're running into this issue with any type of backup camera, try that out. So if I'm gonna want to run this while I'm driving, I'm gonna have to have my lights on, which isn't a big deal, but it would have been nice if they put something in the documentation. Maybe they did and I missed it, but took some Googling to figure that out. But now I've got the camera all set up. The only thing now is to position it where I want and tighten it down so that while I'm driving, I can see what I'm doing. But I think that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the unboxing, the installation. I wish I could have had the camera right up there while I was installing it, but I didn't really want to hurt myself because I was out there by myself. So anyway, hope to do more videos like this as we go camping, learning more about our trailer. So stay tuned and we'll see you in the next one.